So it's time for episode 20. Oh my goodness, we're on the home stretch. I can't believe it. Makes lockdown a lot faster when all you do is watch the Saddle Club. So we won't waste any more time and jump straight into it.
They need money urgently. How much money did we earn?
I do think that's cute how they just think this whole just over $20 is going to be enough to save Pinolo. It's a lot more complicated than that. That's not even the 1% that they need.
30, 40, 45. A grand total of $17.45.
Oh, it was less than $20. I thought it was $23 for some bizarre reason. I mean, it's cute that they think that would help them, but yeah.
It's a start, right?
Yes. Okay, next step. How do we give it to Drew without letting on that we know about the issue?
And then how do you give it to your school about your project, about that making a profit and blah blah? Are you going to forget about that? I mean, school doesn't just disappear because of a financial issue. You still have to hand in this project, which is what your singing and dancing business was all about.
What's going on?
Well, Drew, we know.
You were told.
By Lisa.
Don't get mad at her, Drew. She's just the messenger. Don't shoot her. She's just the messenger.
Thanks.
This was back in the day where you could leave $17 on a table and trust that when you return it will still be there. Back in the good old days of people being honest and trustworthy.
Okay, all those famous singers out there now had to start somewhere. You don't begin with a platinum album and $40 million.
And Scooter being a manager, like, even though he wasn't upfront with the girl straight away, he was absolutely correct. This is what managers do. You know, Taylor Swift didn't start off with a million sold out crowds. You know, she started small, maybe in front of 10 people, and she probably had to do a free charity gig to start off with. It's just how you start, and then, you know, you add to your CV and you get references, and then you go on to the bigger places. But don't expect to make $1 million on your first episode, on your first concert, because it's not going to happen. You have to do the free gigs and the charity and all this, and then you can work out and do maybe $100 gigs and $200 gigs, and then eventually when you're big and people want you and they're willing to pay that money for you, then you can look at the $1 million gigs. But right now, you're nobodies. No one's going to want to pay you $1 million to sing. You have to do small little things first. You'll be lucky to get $50 for a gig at your age and experience.
Then what are we looking at? Like our last gig? Here?
We got nothing.
You got exposure.
And that's the thing. People saw that and they will be like, oh, I might have those girls at my coffee shop, or I might organise them to do something entertaining for me now. That's what Scooter does. That's what a manager does. Gets you exposure and get you the work, get you the references, and work your way up the ladder. You're not going to go at the top straight away.
Exposure is very important in the beginning. Look, I've got to go. I'll put my mind to it, and might I say, I'm delighted you've still got faith in me.
They're running out of options. They have no other choice.
I won't let you down.
So is that our plan?
Well, it's something. Stevie and I went through everything we have, and even if my dad let me dip into my trust account, we still only have a couple $100 and some cents. Some cents?
Can I just say, as 13-year-old girls to have a couple of $100 stored away, good for you. I mean, I wish I knew about the money that my parents had stashed away when I was a teenager. You know, my mum got us into acting when we were younger, so like we did like commercials and little gigs here and there. So basically by the time we turned 16 to 18, we had a little bit of money behind us. We didn't have enough to support us, and we had to eventually get proper jobs, as most people do. But you had that little bit behind you to help start off. That money that we got when we were acting, when we were younger, helped us to help support the backgrounds we're in now.
His mom.
I have a plan. When Stolly's back to Noel, anyone can see what a fine horse he is.
Just the music changing is supposed to represent Steve and Carol being like, oh, That horse is a no hope.
We could sell him for maybe a couple of $1,000.
Storm is a foster horse, so even if...
What do you mean, even if?
Nothing.
The foster place take their commission is what she's trying to say. You don't get all the money.
Take a shake.
She gets 2 shakes.
Yummy carrot. You love carrots.
Every horse loves carrots. It's not just his special treat. All horses do like carrots. Shocker.
Drew's not here right now. He was down by the dam.
Oh, that's okay. I'll wait in his office.
He's not going anywhere.
I've got an appointment.
I know that guy. He's from the bank.
Small town, only one bank man. I thought it was Mr. D'Angelo in the books from memory. Like, isn't Mr. D'Angelo the owner of the bank or the bank manager or some kind? But I guess he couldn't really be the bank manager for the storyline of what's about to happen. Have they not learnt anything? Clearly swinging things around in his face is making him aggro. We saw that with Veronica pulling her lead rope. Clearly something about things flying over his head that all horses hate should just be a hint not to go with this technique and to give another technique a go, maybe. Clearly he has something wrong with the things flying around his head. You're not really throwing the lasso right. You're not really convinced me that you know how to break in this horse if you can't even throw a lasso correctly. I mean, I can't say that I would be perfect throwing a lasso if someone said to me, you know, in a film, can you pretend that you're throwing a lasso? I wouldn't be able to do it correctly. I've never used a lasso in my life. But at least they could have, like, trained him a little bit on how to do it properly. Like, I know, I've seen people use lassos. I know how they are used correctly. And just that isn't done properly. So at least they could have given him a little bit of acting coaching on how to properly throw a lasso to make it believable.
I'll be right here. You're okay?
I'll be right here, but I'm standing far away back because I don't trust this horse. I'm right here for you, but I'm going all the way back. One of the biggest things is not to show fear. Horses sense fear, basically. And right now, he's sensing more than fear because because Lisa is showing her fear, which is going to make Storm worse. I know you're scared, but don't show that to the horse. Be an actress and just talk to the horse. Use your words. The calmer you are, the calmer he's going to be. Don't show fear around a horse, especially not an anxious one.
Stay exactly where you are.
He's not too concerned. Your horse is trampling you, but I'm just going to stand here. Do not move. Which is the proper thing to do. I shouldn't be joking about that. The horse will be less likely to attack you if you're not going to show any resentment and being like, you know, I'm not going to attack you. I'm not harming you. I'm just standing right here. That will most likely stop a horse from wanting to attack you. Just the way she's so scared. And he's don't move. He could have presented that a little bit better to her. There's hope for Storm after all. The music just tells us.
The head and the heart is never an easy one.
Bill, we can work this out. Now, I've spoken to Max. If you could just postpone everything till he gets back.
Max has already missed several substantial deadlines.
And the bank is a business, and a business needs money. Max was aware of the risks when he took out the loans. Therefore, unfortunately, they need their money back. No bank is going to sugarcoat it like, well, he's being very nice about it. No bank would ever be like that. Be so sweet and understanding and using that tone. Basically, if you don't pay your loans back, the bank can repossess things of yours. So yeah, I mean, I think the bank has every right to be upset that they haven't got their money back from their loans if it's overdue time.
Success. And if there were anyone I would want to see succeed with their dreams, it would be Max. But
There's always a but.
the acreage surrounding Pine Hollow is very valuable. The sale of it would be more than enough to get you back on your feet.
But you can't just sell something in 36 hours. It's not possible. It would take maybe at least 4 months to sell something, including land. You can't just put it up and it be sold in 24 hours. It's not how that works, unfortunately. It'd be nice to think that, but it's not possible.
I'm truly sorry.
He didn't see them walk through the window. It's like, it's not like he turned around. He would have seen them jump over the hay bales. He didn't see that someone was trying to spy on them. It would have been smarter to run down the stairs than across.
Drew can't sell the land around Pine Hollow while Max is not here.
Doesn't look like he has a choice.
But where would we ride?
Stevie.
I mean, you can always just ride in the riding rings. Where, you know, the places I adjusted at didn't have riding trails and all we had were riding rings. We survived. I've never once been on a trail. I've all just had to ride in riding rings all the time. It is a possibility to live and survive without riding trails.
Tree. They have over 100 acres of groomed trails.
But isn't there a 12-month waiting list for that place?
Not for everyone.
In other words, it's not what you know, it's who you know. If my dad's going to bring in $1 million to a place, of course we're going to put you on the waiting list. Of course we're going to prioritise you. It's just the way life is. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And sadly, Veronica can get in her way and get into another riding school simply because her dad is rich. And she has a name for herself in the industry. And I envy that.
Drew hasn't even sold the land yet and you've already got another stables picked out? How can you be so heartless?
You're the one who pretty much blabbed a mouth about it. You could have spoken a bit more privately, knowing that other people were in the stables at the time. If you didn't want this to happen, you should have been a little bit more careful with what you were saying, where you were saying it.
I'm being practical. There's a difference. Do you have any idea how boring it will be to have no trails to ride on?
I never found my riding experiences boring. And all I had was a ring. But yet, I survived.
Mrs. Reg won't let that happen.
Oh, get a clue, Stevie. There's nothing she can do to stop it.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Who knows, Mrs. Reg might win the lottery this week.
We need money, and quickly.
I told him we might have to sell off the land around Pine Hollow.
You didn't tell him, he told you that. Don't soften it up. He told you might have to sell the land.
Fair and square in the eye. Things seem to get better.
He feels like such a failure. Max brought him in because of this whole issue and the whole business side of things, and he feels like a failure. I sympathise with you, Drew.
Okay, Lisa. Now try and get him to change his gait. Remember, it's all about tone. As you ask for the transition, step towards his hind end to push him forward.
And canter!
But he's already cantering. How's that changing the gait? It's not like you're going from a collected to an extended canter. He's cantering. I'd be more willing to go from trot, canter to make sure he's listening to you. But you're asking him to canter and he's already cantering. That's not changing the gait.
Perfect, Lisa. Now we're going to introduce the whip. We're not going to hurt him. He needs to know that.
Well, it is the way you kind of bring it up to him as well. Like if I was going to introduce a crop. My cushion fell. If I was going to introduce the riding crop, I would have it behind my back and not try shot him face to face and bring it in secretly. I wouldn't try to be showing him the crop now. That's not the right way to do that, Red, sorry.
Well, we have had a lot of fun here.
Speak for yourself. The Saddle Club spoiled my fun most of the time.
Ever heard the saying inferior, no, Only you can make yourself feel inferior or something like that. Something like that. You're the one who let them put you down, Veronica. And half the time I was on your side. Don't listen to their childish behaviours. I was on your side most of the time, Veronica.
Yeah, but you never actually managed to do anything for us so far.
Harsh, Carol. Harsh.
Where is the gig?
At the Sweetwater Mall.
Ah, Sweetwater. See? Lisa can go visit Raphael. They're only going to Sweetwater. It's down the road. Why was Lisa so depressed? Sweetwater. It's only the next suburb. And yet she was acting like Sweetwater was like 10 miles away.
Now, Scooter, take a deep breath and pinch yourself. What was our appearance fee again?
$1,000.
We want it in advance.
Oh, Carol, I have friends in the singing industry. No place will pay you up front, so we'll pay you in advance until you've done your part. Because what's not to say that you won't show up on the day. You do have to do work before you get paid. As harsh of a reality that is, that's just the way the singing industry goes. No one pays you before you sing. You have to sing first.
What?
You've let us down once before, Scooter.
Up front or no deal?
Right. $1,000.
And plus Scooter takes his cut for being a manager as well.
Red, please. It'll be okay. He didn't mean it. You just frightened him, that's all.
I frightened him?
Well, I would be in that situation if someone walked up to me with a Ryan crop like that. I would freak out like that. Yes, you do kind of frighten him. You didn't try to hide the crop in any way and bring it to him by surprise. You fully got it on his face and walked straight towards him or look him in the eyes. Of course that's going to freak out a horse.
He made a mistake.
No, Lisa. The mistake would have been picking up the wrong cantilever, not trying to mash me into a fence post. That horse is clearly unpredictable and dangerous.
And the fact that you're not even trying to make any kind of attempt to get the lasso off his neck, he could trip over that. And it does cost money to send the horse to the slaughterhouse, you are aware. So you'd be putting money down the drain. The best thing we'd try to be doing is somehow trying to relax that horse to get the lasso off before he trips.
Safety, you are not to go near that horse. Is that understood?
Don't trust her, Red. She's a girl, she's gonna lie.
I have to go tell Drew.
Drew's got enough issues on his and don't tell him about Storm. You're just gonna add to his stress levels. He's gonna need blood pressure medications after this. Don't tell him about Storm, please don't. Another episode done and dusted. If you did like this episode, please give it a big thumbs up, and also please do subscribe for more, and please sign the petition that I have linked in the description box below. I've been through this too many times. I'm just trying to bring to someone's attention who worked on the Saddle Club about the unreleased music that went unreleased, and how me and 14 other people are just devastated by that. Why would they even tease us about these songs if they were never going to come out? One unreleased song is even in an episode, and from memory I'm pretty sure it's the next episode that we hear it in. I've teased you long enough. I'm pretty sure it's the next one that we hear this unreleased song. If you'd like to join 14 others of us and sign the petition below, that would be great. And I'll see you next time in the next episode. Bye guys.